Hi, welcome to Happiness Matters. This is Goddess Valentina, and I want to leave a message today. I haven't been leaving messages for a while. I've actually been going through something and also working on elevation, so that takes a lot of concentration and effort. I want to leave a message when I was at a very clear place. And this message is positive thought. We hear people dance around using these words. Think positive, be positive. But the energy of positivity and really working on that is very far more difficult than what people paint it to be. You can have a positive moment, but to really monitor your thoughts, how many of your thoughts are negative, judgmental, critical, unhappy, unsure, low self esteem. There is positive thoughts, but there's a cluster of all of those things and more involved in people's thought process. And we do have about, I believe they say we have 10,000 thoughts in a day. So, can you imagine all of that? So, the goal is to eventually, with all of those thoughts going on and on, to have positive thoughts through it all, throughout the whole day, to create a mental space of positivity, to create, and it's not just saying positive words, to really begin to walk this life, to transform your mind. It's more difficult than, what these spiritual leaders are talking about. And, you know, um, people on seminars and all of those things, I've always noticed that they give the high level, but they never get down to the nit and gritty. How do people really get this started? And that's always been my frustration with watching people, being inspirationalists, trying to inspire people, is how do people get out of their ruts, their muck and mire? And if 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 anyone has lost weight listening to this message, you know that losing weight is such a mental thing. To really transform your mind to why you emotionally eat and all of those things, it's a challenge in the mental piece in itself. The mental game is, wow. Even people who've had weight loss surgeries, yes, they're losing weight, but they still deal with all of that other mental stuff, you know? And that is the stuff that keeps the weight on, you know? And those are things that need to be healed. And so when you're talking about positivity, there is a gamut of things that you really need to work on. And the first thing is, who is in your circle? Who are the people that are in your ear? Because whatever level you are is what you attract. So at the level you are, what is going on in your circle of people? That's number one. Number two, if you're really working on becoming a very positive person, you got to look at people who display this, positivity. But they're not just saying words, they are becoming the energy of positivity. You need to become that energy. And it's what you watch, it's how you talk, it's how you behave, and your mannerisms. It is, if you're saying something that might not be as pleasant or negative or lower energy, is to ask the universe for forgiveness and clearance and healing in that. And there is a perception on how we were raised, what was taught to us, perception of life, different ways we view life through our lens. And sometimes our lenses might not be as highly positive as somebody else, depending on what we went through, So being positive is is a goal that we should all achieve. And I'm telling you, once you really are not affected by lower energy people, one because people can say something and you're ready to attack. You know, they might hit a trigger button. You might have a multitude of trigger buttons, you know, and those need to be healed as well. You know, positivity is something that is critical, not just to be a happy person. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the energy of that. Where people say, I love your aura, I love your energy. When I'm around you, I feel healing, I feel positivity from you. And it's because every thought that starts to race in your mind is clear. It's very clear, it's translucent, and it's like a diamond. It's like you're producing diamonds in your thoughts. And it's not like you're in some type of cloud. It's all how you perceive things. Every day there are challenges and things that we must face. But you look at the challenge and you say, okay, this is a challenge right now. How can I what am I learning here? Because a challenge also shows our weakness, and we don't like to see that. So we have to say, thank you for showing up into my life. And yes, it might not be the best time you showed up for me. It's inconvenience for me. But let's see what I've learned in my spiritual journey. You know, let's see how we're going to work through this to get to the other side. And it is not getting devastated immediately, not crying, not spiraling out of control, or any of those things. It is how we perceive what is going on. You know, that is, and it's our interpretation of our minds. Sometimes our minds are not in the most healthiest place. Like I said before, it comes with a lot of programming that was there. And it is our jobs to find the wisdom, to add in more wisdom into our minds. You know, it's either like reading books, finding, you know, inspirational speakers who have channeled this positive energy, who is not just talking fluff, who you can really relate to and take little bits and pieces and add to your diamond cave of wisdom. Because when someone sees you and looks in your eyes should be clear. And it takes time. You could be going through a heartache, a pain, a grieving. And those things are different categories because those are periods of time and that will fade. But there are injuries that could be childhood injuries, there could be insecurities, there could be all of those things that someone is dealing with. And it's in those eyes that you can tell where a person is. And even though people are good with using words, because most people don't look at someone in the eye, but if you can, you could see a story, you know. And sometimes if I don't want people knowing what's going on with me, I'll wear sunglasses. Or if I need to take them off, I might wear color contacts to color my eyes. And it's for a brief period of time. You don't want to always give your cards out. People do look into your eyes, you know, and the more positive you are, you will draw that. And, you know, you want to find the tribe, your tribe. You know, where do you energetically want to be? You know, there are images and pictures you might see, like, you know what, oh, I would love to be like that. Or, you know, wow, she's really a great person. He's really a great guy. You know, I wonder how they get like that. Or maybe they were raised that way. You know, some people are really blessed with being raised that way. But also there's people like myself who have taken the time and the work to really work on what is this positive energy about, and the universe, how it responds so wonderfully to you, and how you can ask for things and they come to you. It depends on what it is, though. You know, you can say, I want a new car. You know, you have to work on bringing that to you. And there are gifts in the universe that where a car can come down, but is it a used car? Is it pre-owned? Is it a new car? Those things of that sort. That's a different type of working energy manifestation. But, you know, I worked on a manifestation recently, and I said, today I want the right people to come into my path for elevation. And let me tell you, it was the right people that came into my life that day. And it was very important. It was a very important day for me. And it wasn't the people that normally would come into my life. It was different people who saw something in me that resonated with me. And that made me so happy because I'm like, yes, that's a goal. That's a win. You know, that's a win for me. And it'd be a win for you. But it's like you got to take your mind and put it out. Take it, unzipper your head, take your mind out and put it on the table. And now you're left with a hollow shell. And now, take what is great, what is extremely positive from your upbringing and keep that, bring that back in. But also bring back in other unique things. And yeah, this journey, it's all about ascension. So you will have different friends. You can't take your friends on this journey unless they want to be on it. And they will be lonely. Sometimes it's lonelier at the top, but it's lonely for a period. If you continue to work on this, one, you would have to pull away for a little while. Go into your cave. Because this is you're also healing yourself. You're also implementing new energies, into your life, right? So after you do that and you start to become that energy, then you will automatically attract that energy, you know? So that is I wanted to give this gift of positive energy, positive words. You know, it's also, clearing your energies, knowing what are manifestation blockers. You know, I've written some things on manifestation blockers. And maybe I'll put out a book one day of all this stuff. You know, but I do know that people reach out to me, that I resonate with a lot of people, and I always wanted to be relatable on with different walks of people from walks of life, because they're treasures, and I learned so much from them also. My goal was to always, I wanted to be just a high energy person, without all the hype and fluff, because I just want to be that for myself, that I can sit there and radiate just energy of positivity, where when I'm working, people want to work with me. People want to engage me in conversation. People want to know more about me. I want to know more about them. You know, I want to be able to opportunities to present themselves to me. You're like, what? I was thinking about you, and it'd be a good idea. Blah blah blah. You never know when you come up into somebody's mind, right? So remember, you're an eagle. Even if you're an eagle in training, you're an eagle and you fly high. And so eagles can fly high and see what's going down below. And you can see what landmines to watch out for and whatnot, where there's safe ground, you know. And that's how you have to navigate into this world. It's never about somebody doing something to you and blah, blah, blah. It's about, how do I participate in this? I am a co-contributor to everything, because any issue that you have, you're always involved in it because you're affected somehow, right? So we need to know, what kind of behavior did I contribute to this, to my suffering? You know, did I have an attitude? Was I sassy? Was I aloof? Was I dismissive? Did I just didn't care? Was I in a bad mood that day? Oh, whatever it is, maybe our viewpoints are not as, higher energy. Maybe we didn't have the intel. That's another thing that I talked to a friend of mine, is that sometimes we're not given the intel from our upbringing. And it's not that we're making, doing anything wrong or anything. It's just that we didn't get that intel. And so once you realize that in your life, in your career, and certain things are not moving, maybe there is a certain level of intel that you need. And that's when you need to get that from outside sources. Like I told you, you know, doing some research and some books and people who are in places where they are, where you want to be, see like, okay, what kind of behaviors, or attributes, or what are they doing? What are they reading? Could I have, it's all about observation, seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like. And I'm telling you, you will start to feel. Some people have great feelers, my feelers were clouded, but now they're pretty clear now. And I'm really working on my feelers to be extremely clear, because that eliminates suffering for me. The clearer my feelings are, the clearer I'll be able to make right decisions on the first try and to navigate through life smoothly, more effectively, easier. You know, I need to know and feel authenticity. I need to know when someone, I can now tell when someone is truly authentic, when someone has a different moving pieces that they're not telling you the full story. I can also see when someone's talking, I could see things where they're part positive and part like gutter. I could see, slugs around somebody or snakish behavior. I could see all of those things. And it's really good to be able to identify with these types of energies, and clearing yourself, with herbal cleanses, spiritual baths, and I need to get onto my exercise game, but exercise in sweating, releasing all that you hold within, finding a way to sweat, even if you do the sauna or steam room, finding a way to really sweat all that out of your body is another way of healing, another way of elevation. Yeah. And with that and renewing of your mind, it's a wonderful thing. It really is. It will change you. You want to change that DNA structure that's been broken. You want to, and you can do that by becoming a very strong energy vessel, very, very clear. You never seen somebody and you look at them and you could see 1,000 things going on in their mind, and that's me too. Sometimes I have 1,000 things going on in my mind, but in my mind it's more like, how do I achieve this? Or, okay, this is what happened. This is the scene from my lens. This is the scene that's displayed to me. And I have identified these things that are bothering me, and I know why they're bothering me. Let me look into some level of, let me find some people who are wiser than me and see, what they would say on this kind of topic. And sometimes I'm dead on, and sometimes it's a very different perspective. And it has me think, and that's what you need to think. We need to be thinking more. We need to be investing more of ourselves. We need to be investing more in our wisdom and our spiritual growth. And when people are stressing us out and things of that sort, we need to see where our spiritual anchors are. And lots of times people say they're spiritual, they're blah, blah, blah. But when something happens, it takes them out. They have no grounding. They're not rooted in the ground in anything. And that's a big problem, because a person, think of it like this, a person who practices lower energy is just you know, could be snakish, could be just lower energy. They're good at it. They do it daily. So if you do something daily and you repeat this bad behavior, you're going to be a powerhouse. You're going to be strong at lower energy. Now, a spiritual person, if they're not, they're saying that they're spiritual, but they're not practicing spirituality, if they're not putting any energy work into it, they're a weaker energy source. Their spirituality energy is a lower energy in that spiritual realm. You know, they haven't invested any time into building that energy ball. So when a lower energy comes to a spiritual person and attacks for some reason or another, it seems like their energy is so much stronger. And it seems like sometimes the spiritual person is a weaker, but it's not the case. It's just that you, the spiritual person, has not invested in that energy. Because if you do, you'll be amazed at how powerful you will be. Where your energy is so strong that that lower energy that would normally rattle you, you won't even feel it. It would just go right over your head. And let me tell you, that's such a great feeling. And there are very strong energies out there. And it's not for us to go to head. But let me tell you, a stronger lower energy knows a stronger powerful energy, and sometimes they don't want to dance in that arena because it takes too much energy from them. And so they'll go for people who are weaker energies. So that is something so important, to build your spiritual worth. And that is continuously focusing on you, bettering you, reading things, being around wisdom, looking at things in a very positive outlook, working on that mind chatter, all of those thoughts constantly, and snatching them and say, hey, why am I thinking this right now? Why am I judging her right now? Like, why am I doing this? Where is this coming from? And snatch it from your mind. And then take that thought and say, everyone I see, I do not judge. Take that thought and transcend it into a positive thought. Even if you can catch 2 or 3 a day, you will start to turn that energy wheel into something very positive. Cause no harm, or something. And that is through behavior. That is through words and actions. Even not acting, can cause harm. There's people who are broken, and some people are broken to where it's so hard to repair, and they change their whole DNA structure with this. And it's very sad to see that, and it's very painful to see that. Secondly, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I I'm so sorry that I lost my thought. I really lost my thought. I'm so sorry about that. But basically, you have to really work on your thought process and to build your spiritual energy, to build your spiritual worth, because you could be in a good place and someone can say something and take you right out. That shows that have not you haven't built the structure, the infrastructure. You need to build the infrastructure. It's nice to have nice feelings, but like I said before, positivity, the energy of positivity and the work that goes into it is a lot more complex. It deals with, and it's training your mind to be in this wheel of higher energy. It's words, higher energy words. I'm at the point now where I literally write differently now. I write differently in my correspondence to people that is a higher energy feeling than how I used to write. That took time. I'm thinking of, how I really want to perceive a higher energy. You know, that takes time. And just because someone is having a bad day and is nasty, you can be assertive and firm and elegant and positive. Yes, you can. You can be all of those things. So, it's just a mindset. It's a mindset. This message had to come out. It's so important that it comes out. And I'm just so tired of these leaders out here speaking and they're not giving the substance. You can't heal somebody in a 2.5 day seminar paying $500. Save that money and buy you maybe a nice book, watch something, maybe some TED Talks or something, go to a vacation, invest in yourself. You know what I mean? Invest in yourself, constantly do the research, and you'll know it's all about healing your mind. And there are a lot of people who have chaotic minds. And you can't change nobody. They can't change you. You can't change them. We want people to change because it'd be more convenient for us if they did. People are the way they are, and it's their journey. Okay? But when you become rooted in positivity, rooted in spirituality, when you become rooted in these things and your lens of focus changes, you will see that when they're coming to you presenting whatever, and they present their stuff, say there's a table and it's split in half. They present their stuff and they throw it on the table, and then you present your stuff. They're going to be two different presentations. Always present in a very higher energy presentation. Just because someone's having a bad day and someone is being nasty and negative, it shouldn't trigger the nasty and negative to come through you. What it can trigger is, okay, this person's having a bad day. They're attacking me. So I need to be firm and solid in my response and very clear not to cross boundaries with me. Because there's empathy and compassion, but there's also protection of oneself. There's also assertiveness. There's also being firm. There's also discretion, discernment, and wisdom. There's all of those things that go with it. You know what I mean? So take the journey with yourself and work on those thoughts. And every day, if there's somebody that says something really great, write it on a post-it, put it in your notebooks, put it on your phones or tablets, put it on those things and reflect on it every day. Reflect on it. I do a lot of journaling. Some people don't like to write. I get it. You could draw, write music, write poetry, sing songs. You can, anything you can do to work on building that energy piece, and it takes time. And you'll be challenged. The universe will test you too. Okay, you're doing all this work, let me test you. Let me throw this person in the piece. And let me see how well you do. And it's not about, this negative energy. It's a test to say, are you ready to ascend to the next level? Because as you work on that energy of positivity, the veils, there's another thing. There's veils that there's many, many different veils. And as you have ascended, but also become that energy, different veils will be lifted. Like in your third eye, it will be lifted, and you will start to see clearer and clearer. And as I am attest to this, as you move through and the veils start to unlift, you will see how far-fetched your thinking was, how lost, unhealthy it was compared to the clarity of what's being shown in front of you. And I'm telling you, it just totally will shift your mind. And the veils, lifting of the veils, will assist also in moving you in the progression of your journey. Because you want to be that diamond but that is shielded and protected as well, because you have to always have a fortress. That opportunities come to you, that you can sit down and write something and it manifests very quickly. And with me, I have to be very careful of my thoughts. And sometimes I have dark thoughts. I do. We all do. But I have to erase them. I have to say, okay, why am I thinking this? I need to change this. You know, because I manifest things very quickly. And I have to be very careful. And as you know, ascend, you will start to manifest things very quickly in your life. Things that you need. You'll know how to pray. Pray is not just always saying a whole bunch of words out of your mouth. It's also prayer that doesn't relate, that doesn't have you involved. It's just praying to the highest energy source, praying to the divine, praying and say, I'm worshiping you right now. I am thankful for everything you have given me. I am thankful for this beautiful universe that I reside in. Nothing about what you need. Thank you for me being a beacon of light. Thank you for continuing clearing me, healing me. Thank you for showing me this today. Thank you for being miraculous, because the divine knows what you need. It's in your energy field. All of your issues, all your needs in your energy field, and you need a clearing with that. But it's also in a process of knowing how to extract that from you, put that on the table, and work on clearing it. Work on clearing it. So I hope this message was helpful. I was very clear, so I was able to give you this great message today. I'm so happy that I'm able to give you this message because I've been working on getting to this place myself. So anyway, blessings to you, and thank you for listening. Thank you for taking this time out of your life to listen to this, and I hope that it's giving you the blessings that you need in your life to excel. So your happiness matters, and blessings on your divine journey. Bye.